just about to go green here, but we'll try and get this in quickly. Matt Cherry clipped the wall down in the S's and had a deflating tyre, so that put him out as well.
Green flag at the back of the grid. Not quite a capacity grid, but there were 58 entries for the Donut King improved production.
Well, the attrition does take its toll.
Yeah,
We're just waiting for the flag at the back. We'll get a red
flag
light.
Flag at the back has been waved, Gaz, so it's just a matter of the starter now. Revving up,
here we go.
Red. And it's the Honda Civic versus the Ford Falcon off the front row of the grid here at Bathurst. The Donut King improved production race is go. And great start from Ray Hislop. Jordan Cox goes all the way over to the left-hand side of the track. But Damien Milano gets up the inside, so does Scotty Wilson. And Jordan Cox, no, he doesn't want any of it. He's going around the outside of Damien Milano, but is about to get swamped as they go up Audi Mountain because he just has no power gas.
Yeah, certainly a good start there from Damien Milano. Went into P2. We had Cox at 3, but I dare say when we go back to our leaders, already we can see Cherry picking him off as they go up the... Sorry.
Yes.
Kerry Wade up the 4th spot, Cox in 5th. Lee Forrest had a bad start. He's back in 6th position. Robert Braun just in behind him in the BMW.
Watch this.
Justin Wade's up in the 4th now. Is that Justin Wade in the number 7 BMW?
Oh, Lee Forrest has hit the wall.
No, I think he just missed it.
Tell you what, that would have been close. Just a bit of a swipe, I reckon, Gaz.
Just might have bent the flare in on that left-hand rear.
Now we've got oil flags. Is that oil flags up there at the moment, fellas?
That'd have been from the Radical race beforehand, if that's true. McKay, Tarana goes through. Then they see that big Ford Falcon GT of Rod Vanderkamp there as well. Then Monaro, you can tell Cherry's coming because it's got Monaro across the front of it. He's right up there behind one of the Ingram cars by the look of it.
Past the RX-7, heading into McPhillamy Park.
Oh, that's a very tight line through there.
That's the Allway Mazda RX-7, which I think was the one that was involved with Ray Hislop last year.
Could have been, yeah. There was a couple of cars dicing when unfortunately Hislop came upon them, and one of them didn't see him, or there was contact between the two of them. And
look at this. Matt Cherry is just absolutely carving the guys up at the moment as they come over down towards the Bentley elbow.
So look at this. This is what I love. Jordan Cox has got past Lee Forrest and Wade over the top of the mountain, but he's got no power. So Wade and Lee Forrest will probably go past him here. And there's the other BMW as well, Gaz. He's going up the inside of Forrest.
Yeah, Robert Braun from Victoria in that E30, looking for a way past. But certainly the Cox Civic doesn't lack a lot in the straight line, does it?
It's not too
Does
bad.
a great job, doesn't it?
So here's a replay of Lee Forrest. Let's see if he just gives the wall a bit of a touch-up. Jordan Cox on the inside, Forrest on the outside. No room, and...
No.
Oh, how close can you get?
Didn't touch it.
Great driving from Lee Forrest. How about that? So as they come across the line, let's talk about Ray Hislop. A 2:24 standing start time. It's pretty good. 2:27 from Damien Milano. Scott Wilson is in 3rd from Jordan Cox in the Honda Civic.
Oh,
when you said on the start line it was a Ford Falcon versus a Honda Civic, I think words never actually uttered in a race before.
This is going to be one of the best races for a podium that you've ever seen in your life. Lee Forrest there, up the inside of Wade. Or they may even go 3 wide. Jordan Cox pulls out to the left, blocks Wade. That allows Lee Forrest to get back up the inside of the BMW. And who have we got there in behind Wade?
Nathan Robertson in the Commodore. The interesting thing is no one's going to outbrake the Honda Civic, are they?
No.
It's going to be easily the best car under brakes out of that group.
Let's see if Jordan Cox can catch up to the back of Scotty Wilson over the top of the hill, because he doesn't have to look in his mirrors anymore, because the Civic's going to be quicker than anything from about here to Skyline, I reckon, Gaz.
Yeah, and I think Lee Forrest's car will get quicker as the race goes on too.
Oh, look at this. All over the back of Scotty Wilson now through McPhillamy Park. He's going to have a look up the inside, but he's made the move. He's got his nose up the inside, but pulls out Jordan Cox. I reckon he's going to go down the inside of him here over Skyline, and he does. What a huge move from Jordan Cox. He is absolutely on fire, this kid. Someone give him a contract. That was one of the best moves down the inside of Scotty Wilson, but now he's going to get eaten up again down the straight.
Oh, that was brilliant. Jordan Cox, you can understand why he's got so many fans on top at McPhillamy Park at the moment. That was a great move.
They're not going to get him down the straight. He's too far away from him.
Oh,
He's
look at
bolted.
that. Look at the gap that he's pulled on these guys. This kid is on fire.
He's certainly doing the job at the moment as they head down Conrod Straight for the second time. Hislop's lead at the end of the first lap was 2.8 seconds, and there was 5 seconds back to Wilson. Now, I'm suggesting that that gap might not be the same this time round, but they have made up a bit of ground on him down the straight. Wilson in 4th spot, but certainly, again, as they go through the chase, Cox has got a decent lead again. A 2:19.87 for Hislop on his first flying lap. So look, stand by. He's going to go quicker as we watch this battle for 4th now, because Cox is clear. Then we've got Wilson followed by, we've got a replay of this great move across the top of the mountain.
Here we go. Jordan.
Wow. That
is some attitude on that car. And you know what? He's got his foot absolutely planted through the floorboards there. But this is absolutely gobsmacking. He hasn't even hit the brake yet.
No, he's still on full noise.
Now he has.
Wow.
Only just hit the brake. Wow, that's some great driving, Jordan Cox.
Under 2 litre. Don't forget, this is a 2 litre Honda Civic. We're now being monstered by a 6 litre Holden Commodore. The Celica tries to go down the inside. Well,
look at that. Lee Forrest up the inside of Scotty Wilson now.
Yeah, I wouldn't discount Lee Forrest for 3rd eventually if he can somehow nail that Honda Civic at some point.
He's going to be having nightmares about seeing the rear end of that Honda Civic.
That Honda Civic is just so quick across the top of the mountain. It's unbelievable. And he's on full noise where everyone else is on their brakes.
Well, we haven't really mentioned Robert Braun much either. He's in that E30 that's in behind Justin Wade at the moment. Now, he was putting a little bit of curry on Justin Wade the last lap around, but has dropped off a little bit back to Nathan Robertson in the E36, sorry.
Yeah, the Wade car is a V8, 4 litre V8, whereas the Braun car is the E4, the 6-cylinder 3 litre one. So a bit of difference in capacity.
Oh no, that's Philip Showers.
Phil Showers, who's
a bit of damage to the Yaris as well. That's a shame.
So this is a little bit of Tony Quinn from last year in the McLaren, isn't it? Parked up on the Ripple Strip.
It's a little bit of John Mann from many years ago in a Ford Mustang in Group N. And John Mann's actually here this weekend having a bit of a look around. Luckily, he's going to get away with that. Now, there was there a touch between these two? Oh, there was.
So Wayne Twist up the inside of Philip Showers. And
yeah,
was he up far enough? I'm a good mate with Wayne. I don't want to say too much because he'll probably watch his back. But very, very close between both of those drivers. We'll call it a racing incident. What do you reckon?
We will. We'll stick with that. But I can't see the Yaris going much longer the way they're smoking.
Matt Cherry now. I don't think Jordan Cox is going to be able to do anything about this.
An 18.8 from Ray Hislop on that lap.
Wow.
Just getting faster and faster. He could be in the top 4 or 5 of the combined sedans at this rate.
It's hard to believe that Ray Hislop was chasing under 220 yesterday.
Matt Cherry's just moved the 3rd spot from the back of the grid.
Hang on, can you hear that? The top of the crowd, boo.
Now, ladies, this is the best thing about improved production. We have a Honda Civic versus a Holden Monaro. Welcome to Australia, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, the fight was over pretty soon. Now we've got the 2 Japanese brands, the Honda Civic, under 2 litre car. The turbocharged Toyota Celica is just plodded past.
Well, this is where it's going to get very interesting, I think.
Now, has Jordan got a problem? Because that car's fallen away dramatically compared to previous laps.
I reckon it'd be passed him again by Skyline. No,
you reckon?
Maybe.
Maybe Jordan's backing off just a little bit.
Let's keep an eye on the Celica out of the cutting too. Remember years gone by, it left that left-hand front wheel coming through there. We wonder if it'll be doing that. And Lee was saying yesterday the track is very grippy, so the car does grip up. No, he's taken the wider line this time.
Oh, here we go. Jordan Cox closes in on the back of Lee Forrest again. Sorry, Gaz. But this is what I absolutely love to see. Lee Forrest a little bit sideways through Bartlett's Folly as they make their way down in the Reed Park. Jordan Cox now closing up to the back of the Celica. Cox has got the pace over the top. Lee Forrest is going to have to go on the defensive here because will we see a repeat of Jordan Cox up the inside, over Skyline, and look at him down the inside of McPhillamy Park. Jordan Cox, what another great move in the Honda Civic, down Coates Hire S's. And that, again, is a very, very full-on move, guys. I
wonder if we're going to see if, well, Matt Cherry's probably gone, but if Jordan Cox has his way, he'd probably try and get right up to the rear end of the Monaro. But that's how they stand at the moment from Hislop. Damien Milano's having a quiet one.
Look at this. We've got a... got this
Look at this, rear wheel. The rear wheel is off the deck on that car.
Wow.
And he put the nose in and committed himself. Now, fortunately, Lee must have had an idea he was there and stayed a little bit wide. He wasn't going to try and cut him off because it would have been disastrous for both of them.
That is straight out of the centre of the book of awesome brakecraft. And Jordan, brake, there he goes.
Yeah, right at the very last minute, the brake light's on. Now they're down into the chase and they're nose to tail again. So the Salikas wound out and pulled that gap in, and we'll have a go in that short run down to Maguire's corner.
Oh, but Cox again up the inside on the brakes. No.
Oh,
maybe.
Yes, he's actually going to go past Lee Forrest again.
Yeah, Forrest went wide on the exit and had to brush off the speed. So we've got
David Cox.
Well, what a shame. So
the wall again.
He's had some issues from yesterday that they had to get over, and again in dramas today.
So Jordan Cox from Lee Forrest. Is Lee Forrest going to overtake? Yeah, he does. Going up Audi Mountain Straight, heading towards Griffin's Bend.
I'm nervous. This is why I absolutely love motorsport for this type of racing. And is there anything better? No, there isn't. There can't be.
I can think maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. No, there isn't.
It depends.
Right at this point in time, there is nothing better going on in the world than watching this race.
Sebastian Eschenbach on Twitter. There's an RX-7 racing an E92 and everything else, and I mean everything. That's the best race ever. Thank you very much for that, Sebastian. Appreciate it. Hashtag B12HR.
Cookie, here we go again. Jordan Cox with another great run through Reed Park. Are we going to see a repeat? Lee Forrest will probably be a little bit wiser this time around. And
no, we're going to have the same thing. We're going no, he wasn't quite close enough.
Oh, it's tight. Watch Cox on the outside of the sky. Oh, no, I don't think he can do it. Well done to Lee Forrest. Great defensive driving there.
Lee Forrest actually jumped on the brakes just a little bit later, anticipating how late under brakes Jordan Cox was going to go.
So this is the thing now. We're going to see Lee Forrest pull away because every time that they've come into the S's, Forrest has been behind.
Get him at
Jordan Cox is going, Bentley elbow.
But
okay, and then Lee Forrest is going to go flying past again on Conroy.
He will, and that's about to happen right now.
Yeah.
Good clean driving so far from these two as well.
How close have they been in some of their the manoeuvres?
By the way, Ray Hislop is still out in front. He's done a fastest lap of a 2:18.8.
Damien Milano second as well.
20-second gap to Damien Milano.
And Matt Cherry's lapping at about 2 seconds a lap faster than Milano. So we expect that gap to come down, and Cherry could actually get back to second position. The gap between the pair of them at the moment...
Oh, Lee Forrest with a big slapper out of Caltex Chase.
It's about 7 seconds.
There we go. Yeah, there was... we were staring down the barrel of a safety car, but nothing yet. Still under green flag conditions, which is great because this is what we want to see. We want to see this battle between Lee Forrest and Jordan Cox continue.
We certainly do, and here comes the man of the moment. Ray Hislop already starting to lap cars over the top of the hill. Fastest lap he's ever done at Mount Panorama, 2:18, which is just absolutely phenomenal in a car that is running on an R-Spec tyre.
Yeah. And to think that he was just cruising the last lap, he did a 2:21.
Would that be the quickest time ever around Mount Panorama on a treaded tyre?
It's a good question.
You'd have
to say, well, you'd have
It'd
to
be
look
up
at
there.
Touring Car Masters.
Oh, yep, of course.
And see if anyone's been faster. I think it's faster than a Touring Car Masters time.
Yeah, wow.
But I'll look up afterwards and we'll compare times from last year's 1,000 where the TCM cars were running here. But certainly, big lead at the moment. It was 25.3 seconds at the end of the last lap with a further 7.3 seconds back to Cherry third behind Milano. And I'll be interested to see how close they are. Now there's a fair gap, but he'll make this...
he'll make it up.
No.
Forrest has got a problem. Forrest has got a problem. He's missed a gear or something's gone wrong with that car.
No, he's got dramas.
Yeah. That's a shame.
It was just when he resolved it. But on saying that, there's a possibility he's overstretched that car to stay in front of the Honda.
I think he probably has, and that's when things go wrong. So that's a shame for Lee Forrest. Hopefully he can still limp it home and try and...
he won't now. He'll get
Scotty
swallowed
Wilson,
up.
the boys.
Yeah, a Nationals campaigner at every one of them except one, Forrest. The only one he missed was Tasmania, which is his home state.
Yeah.
because he had influenza at the time and couldn't do it. Hislop goes through that lap at 24.1, so really buttoned the Falcon off at this point. Has stated what he said he would do. We would just
Let's see what happened here.
So he's gone on the grass there. He's nearly like a great
and had the hand out the window as well, saying, no, you're going to have to go past me.
Yeah, something's happened. Typer overheated. Now, we're 55. The Kyle Alford BMW M1 has expired on Mountain Straight by the look of it. Conrod Straight.
Mountain Straight. Audi Mountain Straight, yes.
Yeah, so
appropriately, the team car is an Audi, so the BMW is the one that's parked on the side of the road, right in front of the Audi sign, and right behind another one. But yeah, that car unfortunately has had dramas, so it's out. So at the moment, we're just seeing the gaps now. The gap between second and third is 1.5 seconds, and they're on screen at the moment with Cherry right in the rear bumper of the Milano Commodore, both Holdens, of course. The Monaro, the two-door version, and I thought for a minute there that he was going to have a crack around the outside going across the top of the mountain, but did the wise thing, pulled back in. He'll be looking to get past him. Milano will let him go, he has.
I think it's going to be a matter of time, yep. And rarely goes.
Yeah, Milano looks like a problem.
I think. Oh, there's smoke coming out of the back of that car too, so that
they had low fuel pressure issues with the car yesterday. Maybe that's returned, and he has buttoned it off. As we see Forrest in pit lane at the moment, we see the Yaris has stopped, the Dean car. Yeah. We knew that it would go.
So Damien Milano, that's a shame, but will he be able to limp this thing home, because he's still got a reasonably big lead to Scotty Wilson, who's now currently in fourth position. Oh, no, Jordan Cox,
Jordan Cox in fourth.
You do remember last year, I think it was in this category, there was a old, I think it was a VK Commodore, which was smoking from the whole way of the top of the mountain and actually made it all the way to the bottom.
I think that was that Bruce Morgan car, wasn't it?
No, Bruce Morgan, no, it was an old VK. It had the old Brock livery, the 84 Dayglow livery. I'm trying to remember it. But
Steve Hayes' car.
Yeah.
It was a fireball when it got down here.
Oh, here we go. The Yaris is holding up Scotty Wilson and Robert Braun, and these guys are actually fighting for position with Nathan Robinson back there behind those guys as well. So, tell you a quick story about Bob Holden in the 12 hour, probably about 5 or 6 years ago. They were driving a Yaris, and in the last hour of the race, there was a safety car, and Bob Holden couldn't keep up with the safety car in the Yaris, and he had a car behind him, punting him down Conrod Straight, trying to get him to speed up.
Yeah, well, that's the battle we're watching there now, which was the battle for fourth position, assuming that Milano will be caught and passed by this group at some stage. Wilson, Braun, and the third car there is Nathan Robson. And, of course, Justin Wade was with these guys. He's fallen away from a little bit. Matt Ingram's the next one on the road. Tony Alford, now the Toyota has pulled up again. The Yaris, always a great line from that one of the Horrible Bosses movie, when he is caught speeding. He's and he said, I drag race, and the policeman said, in a Yaris? I'm a slow drag racer.
But that's the thing about this category. You've got so many different cars. I mean, we had a Honda Civic versus a Monaro. We've got the Richard Morg Honda Integra on screen. There's about 5 or 6 different models of BMWs. There's Audis, there's Falcons. There's so many different brands in this improved production.
Yeah, that Honda Integra.
Oh, Scott Wilson with a problem. I hope that they just both passed on the yellows as well. Robert Braun and
he slowed up. He slowed up for the yellows, I reckon.
Yeah.
And they've gone through.
Yeah,
so you can't redress. It's not allowed in this category. Now, yeah, just on the Honda Integra, Richard Morg. Richard Morg's 70 years old now, but still racing. He's just bought a ute to go into V8 ute racing this year. And, of course, that Honda's been driven by... Ian McAllister had it initially, and then Len Cave drove it for a while, so it's had lots of different owners in production cars and in improved production.
Lenny Cave, the oldest bugger in the world.
Yeah. Rollover. 9 with a twist. Remember that? The Mazda 3 here, one of the original.
So here's a replay of the incident here. So Scotty Wilson's Not sure if he's slowed down or he's missed a gear or what's happened, but certainly under yellow flags.
And quite a bit of smoke coming out of the back of that car as he came over McPhillamy as well. So
he's just explaining to the marshal how he's flat out. Flat out, the car stopped, no good.
That's the Toyota Yaris. That's on Conrad.
Yeah, you would have thought it almost run down to the bottom.
Oh, give it a push. Straight
Anyway.
through the Pirelli sign.
Ray Hislop, is he going? No?
No, he's back on screen.
He's going slow, guys.
His last lap was a 21.9.
No, he's just backed off a little bit. He's going fine.
Cruising.
I don't know.
With a lead of 34.7 seconds.
Yeah.
I think he's fine.
2 laps to go.
Yes. And the times have gone off. The guys were complaining yesterday, well, not complaining, but saying how hot it was in the cars yesterday. Car temperature itself, engine temperature was fine, around 80 degrees they normally run at. But he said the temperatures inside the cabin were extreme.
So humid yesterday.
Yep. And when you walk out into the sun, there's a wonderful lineup of spectators will tell you that the sun does bite, and you can feel it straight away. Ray Hislop, this car, as we said, back in its blue livery after running in the wrap of black, grey and yellow with Ben Dunlop sponsorship on it for quite a number, well, for a few years anyway, and gone back to the traditional Ford blue, and they're very happy to be back in blue. And the Donut King sponsorship on the car, well, the category sponsorship for Donut King, of course, Yokohama and Bilstein are involved as well, really highlights it, doesn't it, with the pink and the blue. But he's coming down to the chase on this occasion. This is the 9th lap he's on at the moment as he comes down to complete another lap, and we just see where we'll have to wait a while, obviously, for Matt Cherry to arrive on the scene, but it sets it up for a good third race later today with the Ford v Holden thing back on the front row, and a little Honda in behind them.
Here's an interesting little battle as well between
a Datsun 1200 and a Ford Falcon GT.
Yeah, so Norris, Vanderkamp and Lenthal.
And a Rotary in behind them. So we've got Jay Lenthal in behind Rob Vanderkamp, and the little 1200 Datsun, which probably isn't a 1200, it's probably got a 1600 engine in it.
A bit more in it.
And probably turbo, so it's quite quick. So we've got three very different configurations. 351 cubic inch Falcon GT behind it in the yellow car there from South Australia, and of course the Rotary in behind that, and then we've got a Commodore coming up behind them as well. So the variety in improved production.
Did you hear that wastegate? It's definitely turbo.
Yeah, the variety of cars that you have in improved production is unbelievable. You know, everything from 4-cylinder up to V8s, and even there's an Audi Quattro running around in it for a while too. We haven't seen that for a while, but other Audis, we've got an Audi S3, a new car that's just been built. Nick Fossil's driving that car this weekend. They're pretty happy with it at the moment. It's on its first run, so it's got a lot of work to be done on it, but very close ties between these three, and then there's a BMW coming up behind them, 6-cylinder one.
Brian Anderson's someone that we haven't talked about a lot this weekend in the Targa Racing BMW, but Brian's usually in the top 10 or thereabouts in that car, so I'm not sure what's wrong, but it just doesn't seem to be on song this weekend. Yeah,
and we're watching them down the straight now. The Falcon, you'd think we should run away from these guys. Basically an XY GT HO, although it probably isn't even, but it's spec'd as a HO. It's probably not a HO, it's just a GT. But with all the right running gear that you'd expect on a HO, at the time, you know, the fastest 4-door sedan in the world. And we see Ray Hislop coming up the lap, a lot of them. So he just passed Anderson. The next one on his list should be the Commodore just up ahead.
He'll be definitely taking his time this year, because
learned his lesson.
Yeah, learned his lesson last year. Coming basically, he just ended up in someone else's battle and got taken out whilst leading the race last year.
Now Rob Braun's in the pits, and I think Wilson's just come in as well. So we've had a couple of late retirements.
So there's a checkered flag, guys. Ray Hislop has won the Donut King Improved Production race number 2 here at Mount Panorama during the Liquid Molly Bathurst 12-hour. And Matt Cherry, from way down the back of the grid, looks like he's going to come through in the second.
Yeah, Cherry picked his way all the way through to second position. Great effort from the West Australian.
Nice, Gary.
And, of course, he will finish second. And, of course, that marvellous Honda Civic with Jordan Cox at the wheel should take up third position.
Oh, no, is Damien Milano still circulating at the
Well,
moment?
the speed he was circulating. It
was a very slow speed, yeah.
The gap between the pair of them at the end of the last lap was about... Milano's, that's just gone across the line.
No, not true. So here he goes now. Jordan Cox through Caltech's chase for the last time. And everybody at Maguire's Murray's Corner, I want you to stand up and give this young kid a round of applause because he's certainly been the show of the race. And the 23-year-old from Sydney, Jordan Cox, here he is through Maguire's Murray's Corner. Great drive from the young fella to come in 4th position. And really, really exciting stuff.
Fan club. There is a Twitter fan club going on for this guy. And
Yes.
A lot of people on Twitter have been... there's someone up at Skyline using the hashtag loose Honda, hashtag never lift. So I reckon Jordan Cox, if he doesn't have a Twitter account, he needs to get one because he will have a lot of fans within the next couple of hours. Well done, Jordan Cox.
Got a replay of some action across Skyline with Vanderkam.
Hang on. Hang on.
Daniel Clift.
I think Jordan Cox may have just lost the best move of the race. Right on the last lap, Daniel Clift sideways around the outside of the RX-7.
That was quite a...
Vanderkam's walled it.
Wow.
No.
So Cliff picks up another spot, and that was the the Wayne Allway Mazda that he passed.
So Vanderkam's just gone through there through Bentley Corner sideways, and he's just gone in backwards. And she's finding parts for the old XY is going to be a little bit difficult. Oh, no, and he's not going to finish either. What a shame.
Yeah, so just going back after Cox passed the line, Nathan Robertson was in 5th in the number 93 Commodore. Matt Ingram up into 6th in the Mazda RX-7. Justin Wade 7th. Michael King in 8th. Tony Alford 9th. Scott Willing round out the top 10. Peter Ingram in 11th. Gary McKay in the Tirana, which we haven't seen a lot of, but it finished in 12th spot.
Well, that